Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's all we'll say. Yes, indeed. It's Jason up. It's the New 80s Revolution. It's Friday night. It is time for the Power Hour. That's right, the TN80sR Power Hour, where you, the loyal friend of the channel, gets to be a part of the show by sending in questions to me in written or video format that I will address and answer honestly and openly on this show. Yes, that's right. We've got a fresh batch of questions. I do want to let the Campbells know, my friends Bobby and Tom Campbell, Tommy and Bobby, that you guys will have your own episode with your videos. So just don't worry, they're coming. We'll get you guys on. That's just a very special episode. And like I said, we've got a full rundown here of questions. I am kind of revitalizing. I'm reinterested in my Instagram page. I think that's the one form of social media that I think I care about the most. Met some good people on the Instagram, got some good connections, right, through photos and things like that. So I think I'm going to be a little bit more active on the Instagram, and it's just the New 80s Revolution on Instagram. Yeah, the New 80s Revolution. Go check me out. I got 100 followers on the Instagram. That's right. That's nothing. All right. So before we get into the show, I wanted to give you an update on the Return of the Living Dead 4Ks that I have. Why do I have 4Ks? Well, because Amazon is a botch machine. It's a botch factory. It's a screw-up machine. It's a let everyone down machine. This one came in the mail completely destroyed. Okay, movies falling out everywhere. Look at this, it's disintegrated. Parts falling. Look at this. Look how disgusting this is. Movie scratched. I can't even close it. It's just repulsive. It's just awful. Look at all this. Little parts falling all over. I don't even know. Why did I do that? I shouldn't have even... Just terrible. So this, yeah, look at this. It's falling. So this comes in the mail the other day, and I'm just like, what do the kids say? What do the kids say in high school? Fit to be tied, right? I was fit to be tied. You know all the kids are saying it. Your own kids are saying it. Don't lie. I was furious. I was furious because Best Buy said that it doesn't come out until the 20th, which is a lie. Okay, it was out on Tuesday of this week, but Best Buy just didn't put it out yet and decided to tell me that it came out on Thursday. And then everybody in the world bought it on Tuesday, except me. So I bought it on Tuesday from Amazon, and it came Wednesday, completely destroyed. So, you do a refund, you do a replacement order, because this one is trash, and it comes today, and we're good to go, ladies and gentlemen. The New 80s Revolution is happy again. I hear people complaining about, like, the moisture in these, that they're slimy or whatever. There are some really, like... there's some pretty particular people. But anyway, we've got it. We've got the Return of the Living Dead 4K. I'm pumped and excited. So this one, again, I appreciate the ease of just telling them, hey, it was destroyed, send me another one. And then 2 days later, I have the replacement. I appreciate that ease. But we wouldn't have had to have that ease if this nonsense doesn't happen. Okay? So, you know why this happens? Because they send these movies, including this one, including the good one, in a little paper, kind of plasticky, I don't know, what is it? It's just a mailer envelope. No bubble wrap, no protection, just a paper envelope, paper bag kind of deal. Plastic bag. What am I talking about? It's like a plastic bag that they send it in. Don't send it in a box. No, don't do that. Send it in a plastic bag that gets tossed all around from, point of origin to point of destination. And this happens. So whatever. I give up on everybody. Best Buy lies to me. Amazon destroys the pet. Where do you go now? Now what do? You stream it. I know. But I won't. I won't stream it. All right. Let's do it. Let's get into the questions. If you want to be a part of the channel, if you want to be a part of the TN80sR Power Hour, you send your questions to TN80R questions at gmail.com. That's right. Link down below. All right. As we did last time, we're going to go top and bottom. So we're going to do newest and then we're going to do oldest. So we'll start with oldest. And we've got, who do we got? We got my man Bammoth Dillert. My man Bammoth Dillert. He says, hey Jason, we'll piggyback off another question you answered. What is your Mount Rushmore of after-school cartoon theme songs that immediately transport you back in time, whether they were from your favorite cartoon or not? You hear them, and you're sitting right back in front of that TV at your parents' after school. Mine are Masters of the Universe, Mask, Inspector Gadget, and Heathcliff. Those are great, and I would agree with all of those. DuckTales. DuckTales is absolutely a theme song that transports me back in time. G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe transports me back to 6 a.m. on school days. 6 a.m. on school days because I would typically only watch G.I. Joe before school, first thing in the morning, right? On my own little TV in my own room. That's where I would watch it. For some reason, as an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, I would be getting myself up. My little alarm would be going off. I'd turn on the TV, and I would lay there under the covers and watch G.I. Joe. So that theme song brings me back. DuckTales, like I said. Inspector Gadget's a good one. What else? Those are really good choices that you have. I would agree with all of them. Like I said, Heathcliff is absolutely a throwback to after-school programming. In fact, the whole, not only just the theme song, but the whole opening credits, like with the city building, like they kind of pan in on the building. You know what I'm talking about. After school. Yeah, Mask I never really watched as a kid. What were some of your also your choices? Yeah, He-Man definitely is a theme song that brings you back. Even just a few first few bars of it, just transportation back in time. So, yeah, He-Man, G.I. Joe, DuckTales, and then even like non-cartoon, but the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch theme song jets me back in time because, again, that was an after-school show. And so was World Class Championship Wrestling on ESPN. And you know that song. It's like dun 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 dun. That's that. Right, rocket back in time. Sitting on the floor with my back up against the couch, watching World Class Championship Wrestling. So, I took your question there and tweaked it a little. But definitely DuckTales. Definitely DuckTales brings me back. So thank you, Bammoth Dillert. All right, let's go to the top. Let's go with, well, I don't know. Let's do it the way, how are we going to do it? Let's do it, let's go Aaron, my man Aaron Keitlinger. We got a young blood here. Aaron's from the class of 2000. Aaron, youngin', watching our stuff here on the New 80s Revolution. Aaron says, what's your favorite genre of video game? Has it changed over the years? I honestly can't seem to spend more than 15 minutes on a game anymore, almost like I should be doing something else. Meanwhile, I'm over here watching the 80s Power Hour like it's 1989. Well, thank you. Yeah, video games, my relationship with video games is very unique. It's very different. Back in the Nintendo days, back in the Atari days, you just played whatever you had, right? Okay? So, there's no genre of Atari games for me anyways. The Nintendo days, look, I have never been good at video games. I have never been good at them. So while, there are extremely popular Nintendo games like Metroid and Zelda and Mario 3 and even Contra, I was never getting past the first couple of stages, if that. Mario 3, I could go a little bit, but there are still boards of Mario 3 that I've never seen. Same for Mario 2. So I was just bad at them. I was just bad. So my favorite genre then was sports games. And is it a coincidence that a non-gamer says sports games? No, it's not, because gamers, real gamers, are insulted by sports games. And so non-gamers are like, yeah, sports games, let's go. So I love that I can get, Madden 20 for like 99 cents, right? Because I don't care who's on the team. I'm just playing football. I had a lot of fun with sport. But, that doesn't mean that I didn't have fun with video games. I had a blast with sports games, especially Sega Genesis sports games. Absolute blast. My friends and I would all get together and we would have tournaments with Madden, and we're talking like Madden 92, guys, Madden 93, the primitive stuff. We would have tournaments with that. We would have tournaments with Lakers versus Celtics, and then I think it was Lakers versus Bulls. Yeah, the early EA Sports basketball game. Then when Super Nintendo came out with their newer versions of NBA, and the screen changed, and the players changed, and the speed changed, and they kept statistics. Oh, I was blown away. That was amazing. Friends and I would sit around and play an entire season over a summer or over 6 months or so. We would just, you couldn't play unless we were all together, and then we'd play. We'd have our own team. Honestly, I had the most fun ever as an adult when I was about 21, going out with my best friend at the time. We'd go out and do adult stuff, we'd go drink, and then we'd go back to his house and play Sega Genesis PGA Tour golf. And we would have the best time ever. So I've always liked sports games, Bases Loaded for NES, games like that. And I would turn them into more than they were. So I've told the story before with Bases Loaded. I would have my own little notebook, and I would keep stats and all that. I never had a Super Nintendo. I had a Sega Genesis. I never had a Nintendo 64. I think I had a PlayStation 1 and possibly a PlayStation 2. Yeah, I know I had a PlayStation 2 because I would play the wrestling games. THQ? Yeah, the THQ, SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth, it was called. Those games were great. So I would play those. And then I was done. I was done with video games. I never had a PlayStation 3. We do have a PlayStation 4, but obviously for the kids. So nowadays, Nowadays, I'm still playing Madden. You know, Liam and I have a team in Madden that we play a season. I did get into the show, the MLB The Show, but I never finished it. You know, I played tried to play a season and got like 50 or 60 games in. I don't play basketball games anymore. I hate them. I don't really play hockey games. They're kind of fun. I have Tiger Woods Golf upstairs for the PS4 that I'll still play every once in a while. We have PBA bowling for the so I'm still into sports games. But now I have fun with Liam, with my 10-year-old, with the Mario Switch games we play together. Uncharted, we've beaten Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 2 together. We beat the Spider-Man game together. So those are fun, but if I'm playing with somebody who, when I start to suck, which is quick, I give it to him. He's the master at it, and so he gets us like to the next stage. Then he dies, hands me the controller. I'm out in 30 seconds. Bam, he takes over again. But I'm still into sports games, and you're right. I can't play long either. I can't. My kids can play for hours and hours and hours at a time. I'll go, an entire game of Madden at 5 or 6 minute quarters is still almost stretching it for me. So, all right, good question. Number 2, his second question, Aaron Keitlinger says, do you collect anything digital? I've been collecting my favorite old school shows on my own Plex server. I don't even know what that is. And also digital copies and scans of magazines enjoyed as a kid. My favorite recent addition are a bunch of CCS skating catalogs from the 90s. Okay. I assume that's skateboarding. I'd also love to find Toys R Us, Sears, etc. Christmas catalogs, all digital. Do I collect anything digital? No. No, I don't. The one thing that I do kind of appreciate digital is the games. It kind of goes back to your first question. I like the ease of ordering through the PlayStation Store or through the Switch Store games. I like the ease of that. And then they're just downloaded to your video game system and off you go. I like that. I do. So that I'm good with. But no, I've never, I don't have anything digital. I truly don't. Because there's something, you want to collect those catalogs. I get it. I get that you want it, that you can look at them on your phone or your laptop or whatever, but there is something so good about, having it in your hand, man. And just sitting there and, reading, especially like, oh, I got a little note from my kid in here. Love you, Daddy. Love Liam the Great. Oh, okay. Thank you. Puts himself over. There's something about this. There's something about, reading about gorgeous Jimmy Garvin in this slightly yellowed paper. And then having to flip to page 48 to finish it. Go to the back. I don't know. So, I don't. And I can't even say that I'm not against anything like that, because I kind of am. Nothing against you. I'm sure you're a lovely person. But I just don't. I don't have anything digital. But I'm okay with the games. All right, great questions. Thank you, Aaron. We'll knock you out of the rotation. Who else we got? Let's see. Lots and lots of questions. My man Scott, good-looking Scott. Do we go to good-looking Scott yet? I don't know. All right, let's go to my man Nate. Nate is Sign Fan on the channel. Sign Fan, ladies and gentlemen. And he's a Seinfeld fan. Where do you think Sign Fan comes from? You're not a fan of signs. He says, your pal Sign Fan here. I've got a fun one for you and one that you may not want to discuss. Uh-oh. What's the one I don't want to discuss? Oh. Now we'll discuss it. I've got a fun one for you and one that you may not want to discuss, and that's okay, he says. Oh, thank you. 80s, 90s treats. Which did you like best? All no longer with us. He gives me some choices. Okay, and then I think he made a correction. So his snacks, he says, I get to choose. Oh, Boise's, pizzerias, or Bugles. But then I think he came back and said, instead of Bugles, which are still around today, in the snacks section, substitute Tato skins instead. Boise's, pizzerias, or Tato skins? Great, great question. Hands down, Tato skins. They were awesome. If you are not familiar, they are basically, we're not even going to call them potato chips because they're thick. They're your thickies. They're basically a potato crisp, almost trying to copy a potato skin. Because, and again, it's so hard to say that, like, you know, this is only an 80s thing. But in the 80s, potato skins became huge. They became a new thing. Almost like when chicken wings were like first established, whenever chicken wings were established. Potato skins became a snack in the 80s. I don't care what anybody says. They became a snack in the 80s, and they would come with cheese and bacon and chives, and they were a thing. They were a thing in the 80s. They got started in the 80s. Potato skins. And then, of course, they made a chip, and they were incredible. I think they had like sour cream and onion. I think they had bacon cheddar flavor. They were awesome. And I don't think they're not around, right? Try to make sense of what I just said. I don't think they're not around. What's that called? A double negative or whatever? I believe that in some circles, Tato skins still exist. I might try to find them. Pizzerias I'm familiar with. I know they were a pizza Dorito style chip. And Boise's I know, but I can't place them in my head. I'll have to go back and look them up and see what they were. But pizzerias were good too. They came in a white bag with like red and green Italian lettering all over them. And they were good. They were pizza flavored chips. How great. Potato skins I love. In the dessert category, he says bonbons, pudding pops, or WWF Superstars ice cream bars. I might be one of the rare people who absolutely never saw a WWF ice cream bar in my area ever. Now, you go back, it's like 1988, 1989. How am I getting to the grocery store every day on my own? I'm not. Okay, so how do I know that they're not out? They might have been out. They might have been out. They might have been $4, and my mom might have said, that's too much. I'm not buying this kid ice cream for his favorite, thing in the world, his wrestling. No way. That's why I don't talk to her today. So I don't know if they were ever in my area. I never saw them. I've never eaten one. I didn't even eat like the new ones that came out, like with CM Punk and all that. I never had those either. Never had an ice cream bar. I would love to have one of the boxes today. I think they go for around $80 or $90 on eBay. A empty WWF ice cream bar box. Bonbons I've had. I don't like I don't like ice cream. So let's just start with that. I don't like ice cream. I'm not an ice cream guy. And bonbons I didn't like because they were too bulky. I know you could bite them, but they would make my teeth hurt. I just don't. I've had them. I didn't like them. Hands down, pudding pops. In fact, I really, really loved the banana chocolate pudding pops. They were incredible. Incredible, especially when they got to the point where they were melty and smaller, and the flavors were melding together, right? You got that sloppy, puddingy, chocolatey ice cream bar. You got chocolate on your face, and and then you're getting like both flavors in one, and some saliva. But still, it was very good. Cookies, Giggles, Planters, PB Crisps, or Dunkaroos. I don't remember Giggles, but I think I remember a commercial. I wonder if the commercial, like the cookies were just laughing the whole time, giggling. It's somewhere in my head. I could have just made it up. Dunkaroos, I also kind of vaguely remember a commercial. I think they were more animal. Were they like animals? And I don't remember PB Crisps, but I'll probably say PB Crisps because I love peanut butter cookies. Like Nutter Butters are just incredible. So I would probably say that if I knew what they were, I probably would have wanted PB Crisps. Drinks, he says Kool-Aid Cool Bursts, Crystal Pepsi, or High C Ecto Cooler. Crystal Pepsi was just kind of like Sprite with a slight Pepsi taste. I'd really like a empty Crystal Pepsi bottle. But again, there are stupid people who are selling them for, $30 to $40 on eBay, which is just dumb. Look, I know that everybody I was gonna go, I was gonna go a little R-rated there a minute, but I know everybody goes crazy for High C Ecto Cooler. I don't care. It was never really. I didn't care. It never did much for me. I love Kool-Aid anyway, and the Kool-Aid bursts were obviously the best because they were pre-sweetened. You didn't have to try to figure out the right spoonfuls of sugar to put in there. They're already mixed up. And are these the things that came in those plastic bottles with the plastic twisty tops on them, and you just squeeze them into your mouth? Yeah, those were good. Any stories to tell? Any stories of any of these foods? Well, there you go. I just gave you a whole bunch and didn't even know you were asking. Great question, man. Great question. All right, the second part, and I guess we'll end it with this. Second, here we go. Whatever happened to you and Chris Seaver, your partnership? If you don't want to talk about it, I understand completely. You guys made a fun pair and had some great shows together. For the record, my allegiance lies with you and your channel, and it was always your show. I won't be subscribing to his. All the best. Really enjoy your show, channel. Sign Fan1. Okay. Fine. All right, let's get rid of Nate. Great questions, Nate. Thank you. God, there are so many more still, guys. The Power Hour will live on forever. There are so many more. All right, well, yeah, let's talk about what happened. You guys know it. Most of you guys know the story. Look, it's been a couple of years. It's obviously done and over with. I was doing the show. Chris is a local guy who's got the same interests as me, except he identifies himself as a filmmaker. So he's into that whole thing. So when he reached out to me, I think he wanted initially to, I think he had the idea of making a store about like an 80s product store, like a retro gimmick store, whatever. And he wanted me to help find him stuff for the store. So that was the beginning of our communication. And I was like, that sounds cool. And then I boxed up a ton of VHS tapes that I regret. And I brought it to him and I said, here's some contributions to your store. And from there, we were talking. We were friends. And I interviewed him on the channel, which I've deleted because the quality was awful. But I interviewed him, and we hung out some more, and we talked some more. And then we just kind of said, what if, because he was dabbling on YouTube before meeting me. And so basically he said, why don't I, kind of end my channel and join yours? And he brought a ton of talent. I bet you didn't think I'd say that, but he brought a ton of talent to the channel in the form of the behind-the-scenes stuff. The planning of the show, the editing of the show, some of the musical connections that he had for all that, all the intro, like the ska style music or whatever. And then we started doing the show, and it was a blast. It was some of the funnest times I'd ever had, and we were truly, I think, good friends. Good friends. A lot of great ideas with the show. If you saw, we went and found an old video store in town, the last of its kind, and did a show on the video store. The shows were getting long, very long, very long. They were some of the shows were over 2 hours long that we would do. Did we have good chemistry? We had fantastic chemistry. Were we hilariously playing off each other? Absolutely. And around that time, we were approaching 1,000 subscribers, and we were looking to monetize, and we had T-shirts made, and we were. I remember he got us like a big bulk order of like 3x5 cards to hand out at toy shows and things like that, promoting the channel. And then we were doing a ton of live shows. And then I think what happened, and I don't know if this is 100% true, but my thing is, I think that we were both two powerful minds trying to work together and trying to take top billing. I think both of us wanted to be the host. I think both of us, my concept, my perception was that he was on my show, that he was on my channel. If you go back and watch the work that we did together, I'm kind of the lead. I'm directing the flow of the on-air stuff. And I think that he probably didn't like that over time. I think that he, again, he's a filmmaker. He's directed people. He has a cast of friends that all kind of flock behind him for whatever reason. And I don't think that he liked being second billing. So he quit the show. So he quit the show suddenly, and quit the friendship. There went the friendship, and it was quick. One of the last live shows the last live show we did, we wrapped it up. We finished. I think he went to the bathroom, and I left. I just left his house without saying goodbye. That was it. And then the next day I got an email that says, I can't do the show with you anymore. And it was long. It was long, and it was personal, and I'm not going to go into all his crap, but that was the end of it. And that was the end of the friendship, too. And, I think he took some time off, and then immediately thereafter went right back to his schlocky, sticky, gimmicky, potty humor, fart humor, weird faces and weird, what's it called? Accents, voices, whatever. And then did like almost what ended up being like a parody of what we did with two of his, friends. Actually, a friend of mine that was on the show, and then a female friend that they had, and then so he had his little crew doing the same thing we were doing, but just ridiculously silly. I think they were like aliens that had been abducted and brought to another dimension, and it was the 80s or whatever. I don't know what he was doing. But yeah, I think he just went back to like doing nothing. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's selling his movies and maybe making a new one. I don't know. I'm sure he wanted to make a new movie. But yeah, so that's how that ended. He just, I really feel that he needed to do his own thing with his already well-known, well-accepted, supporting cast of friends, like I said, lining up behind him. And I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to be part of anybody's crew. I'm not doing that. So that's that. We haven't spoken since, and wish him all the best and whatever. But that's what happened. That's what happened. He did give me the paneling idea. We did do the paneling together, which was a benefit. So that's that. And thanks for that question. Thanks for all the questions. That's the Power Hour. So we got about 8 more emails of questions to go. A couple of video questions. My man Upstate Johnny with all of his text questions, they're coming. It's the weekend. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what's coming up on the channel on Saturday or Sunday for that matter. I have no idea. I'll figure something out. We'll keep it going. Thanks for hanging out at the Power Hour. If you want to get your questions in, go to the link below. And good stuff. That's all. Thanks again. We'll see y'all later. Oh, yep, there goes the back. Yeah, all right. Let's just, okay. Now we got to just let it loosen up. Let it loosen up. Good night now.